Cameron.
Yo.
Thank you for having us out here. The panel went fire. Before we go to the panel, so we just did our first off-world panel. We kind of talked about cultivating a scene and the role that platforms, live events, collaborations, artists working with the city just play in that.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us out. But tell us why we're here.
Coming out, bro.
What are we raising money for?
So right now it's the first ever, but not the last, Creators for Charity weekend, 24-hour fundraiser for the 8th annual VIP Angel Giving Tree. I'm the CEO of Violence Intervention and Prevention. I'm also the founder of Buy Back the Block, Beyond the Bullet, and the Gun Violence Intervention and Prevention Outreach and Research Center. So every year we have multiple families that we serve with mentorship, counseling, advocacy, but we also are creating initiatives around the holiday season because we know the holidays ain't happy for everyone. So for everybody to come together the way we have, created a platform to showcase all the talent, the ingenuity that we have in the 757, and to show the ability that we can actually be the change that we need to see in all elements. So when we talk about pushing the culture together, pushing it forward, and making sure we're bringing advocacy to spaces that we can be unapologetically ourselves. So being a reflection of that, especially during the holiday season, being able to give back on top of that. Again, I'm going to keep saying it. This is the definition of having that real emotion. And I'm proud of you, bro. You pulled it together.
Thank
you jumped
bro.
off the
Thank
porch,
you.
literally. You know
I'm back on the porch somehow. Still on.
And you did something that was really, like, I think necessary because you provided a platform for people to really showcase what they do. And as creatives, that's important because people don't get to see the behind the scenes and the things that go into it. So, you know what I mean? I'm proud of you for that.
No, thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Thank you for the opportunity. While this panel is going on, we'll have a link at the bottom. Feel free to donate if you're able to the charity, to the fundraiser.
Please
what's
do.
the website? Where can people donate at?
You can donate at buybacktheblockvip.org. Again, that's buybacktheblockvip.org. So annually, we operate at a 6-figure capacity. But the fact that we volunteer 100% of our services to the community, you do the math. That means that's a lot of support. That's a lot of maintaining. That's a lot of giving back. So the holidays is not the only time of the year that we do this. But to be able to provide that platform at such a scale, again, is really important, especially during the holiday season. So buybacktheblockvip.org, you can go up there and access information on how to donate and support our mission. You don't have to always give monetarily to support the mission. Us showing up is the biggest way that we can contribute to our communities, for real.
Okay. Hell yeah. We hope you guys enjoy the panel. We have some DJ spinning right now. Vega's up. We also have a painting auction. We'll put that right here, too.
Yes. Shout out to D-Kane. Shout out to Destiny.
Shout out to Karina. I may or may not have already bid on one of these paintings. So,
cheating.
Okay, but yeah, we're gonna go right to the panel. We hope you guys enjoy, and yeah,
Tap in.
Thank you.
Off-World Podcast, VIP, Buy Back the Block.
Yes, sir.
You know.
Yes, sir. I really wanted to start off this conversation by I woke up and did an edit this morning. Bro's about to pull it up. If you can go to our Instagram. I found the best app ever created, the best $3.99 I ever spent. If you could pull that post out right there, yep. Y'all could just, it's right there. Some of my favorite creators from the 757 getting slapped. Shout out to this app. I forgot what it's called. Yeah, go ahead. It's not working? Okay. Well, we're going to put that video here. Y'all can see that on my Instagram. that boy Gabe commented. Gabe was like, I feel like I really got to smack you now.
He probably dead serious.
Baby Oil was like, oh yeah, I'm on the way to Suffolk now, since you want to play. So all my ops about to be here, but it's all good.
Wait, what is it? It's an edit of us getting slapped?
Not you.
I was about to
You're
say,
not in
wait,
it.
I don't think that's...
I did enough edits of Alana this weekend. No, it's this app that literally you put a picture in and it makes it look like it slaps the person. But yeah, that shit had me weak. I made it last night. But yeah, how you guys doing?
Doing good.
We are at Creators for Charity weekend. Cam Bertrand invited us to do a panel. This is our first time doing this, so bear with us. My first time hosting a panel. I figured we could start by just telling the people a bit about what we do. Well, I guess we can really start by saying what the panel is. Our kind of central topic is the role media platforms, live events, artists, collaborations, and working with the city play in cultivating a creative scene. So the people I have on the panel with me today, we have Cam from Social Supply. They've been holding down for the DJs, kind of marketing our DJs in the right way. They've been doing millions of views, going crazy. We have another Cam from Whosnext757.
Yes, sir.
I would say holding it down for the rappers, the live rappers, people actually bringing back real rapping. Because I know a lot of platforms that are popping right now as far as rap, it's not really rapping, they're lip singing. So Whosnext757 has people actually rapping on there.
Correct.
We have Kelo. He's an artist himself. Has fire music.
My God.
I would say out of us here on this panel, you have the most experience in working with the city. So we want to definitely hear from you about that. We have Alana Mercedes from Hot 91, radio host, a media. I guess we are all media personalities in our own way. She's holding it down for the radio. We did our podcast too. I was like, "Is radio dead?" She said it's not. So we'll hear more about that. So I figured we could start. Maybe people could just tell us a bit about your journey, starting your brands, your platforms, maybe some challenges that you faced along the way. I don't know who wants to start. If you want to start, Alana.
I figured ladies first. Yeah. So my beginnings in radio started it's actually been a year now since I've had my own show, a year on November 6th. And I started radio fresh out of undergrad. Right after I graduated, my professor is the general manager of the station, and he scouted me, was just like, you need to be on radio. And I was like, I really don't want to, but I'll try it. And that's how I got into it. Now, as far as my involvement, like what, with...
We can get to everything else, but maybe just some challenges you faced being on the radio, starting your journey on the radio.
You know, honestly, and not to sound crazy, but when you are naturally kind of a certain way, and maybe it's because I haven't been on radio that long yet, I haven't faced many challenges, honestly. I haven't had to change too much in order to be on the radio because, I don't know, I'm kind of just myself anyway, up there. So I would say the main challenge that I faced getting on the radio was like always having something to talk about. But besides that, it really hasn't been that hard. It's been a lot of fun so far. And I've had so many opportunities created from being on the radio, being a media personality, that I probably wouldn't have had, or would have had a harder time getting before I actually, like, if I weren't on the radio. So, yeah, as of right now, I haven't really faced any big challenges, major challenges. But again, I'm only a year in, so
okay,
we'll see. Yeah.
Do you want to go to, can we go to Cam next? I know you're from New York. You just told us. Bro said, which Cam? We're talking about you, yeah. You moved from New York. Maybe just touch on your journey moving from New York, starting this platform, Whosnext757 here. Yeah, how's that been for you?
It's been well. It's been great. So, yeah, coming from New York, we're going to get deep. You know, I was an artist coming from New York. You know what I'm saying? Coming here, that's all I was doing. I was actually rocking shows, you know what I mean, being an artist.
Where in New York are you from?
I'm from the Bronx. I'm from the Bronx, New York, born and raised. And you know, graduated high school in the Bronx, went straight to college, upstate New York, Tompkins Cortland Community College, you know, Cornell, Cortland University. So I had an experience, you know, and then shifted out here to Virginia. And that's when I, you know, really was taking my artistry serious, things like that, rocking shows. I was doing shows out here. I met a lot of the artists. That's where I was really getting into and just meeting a lot of people in the area and just working. And as I was continuing to try to take my artistry to the next level, I noticed out here, and this is, you know, let's say 2019, you know, the platform Whosnext757 started 2019. So pretty much around that time, I was like, you know, I'm looking at industry artists. I'm looking at how they roll out their projects. They go into the radio and things like that. They get in interviews. So I was like, yo, I need an interview, you know?
You need to do an interview or start doing interviews?
I need an interview.
Okay.
You know, I was like, but it was really scarce. There was really no interviews, kind of, so no platforms. It was really nothing I could kind of work with.
I think in 2019, not to cut you off, it was really like Glass TV was really all we had at that time.
Yeah, Glass TV was it was just a promotional platform. Yeah. You know, just to get your video played or whatever, or seen. But yeah, it was no real, like, you know, production as far as interviews and things like that. So, you know, it was just a small collective of us as far as when it started and things like that. And that's when the idea came about, and just getting the camera and doing the backdrop, you know, kind of similar to Vlad when they had the white screen, though.
Yeah.
You know, Vlad TV and things like. So it was just that, and then it just progressed throughout the years. 2022 really, it kind of took off and things like that. But as far as challenges, up until this point, now I think just the challenges would be for me was just finding high quality individuals to work with and be on a team and really just understand the vision. Okay. You know, because, you know, as a platform, we're not a 9-to-5. You know, you can't pay your bills for it.
Bro, chasing your dreams is 24. That's not a damn. Yeah. It really, if you're really doing it the correct way, it becomes your whole life.
Right.
Okay. Do you want to go to Kelo?
My guy, what's up?
Tell us about maybe, yeah, I know. So you're an artist as well. So you could touch a bit on starting your journey as an artist, but also we really want to hear about your experience with working with the city. I feel like you're one of the best at it. A lot of people hate on the city. They don't want to work with the city. They feel like they don't respect us. I don't know.
You crushed that cigarette firstly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to breathe. Yeah, my name is Kelo. My name is Markel. You know what I'm saying? That's my real name, but I go by Kelo. Originally from Bedford, Virginia, a small town. Been out here like 10 years. Came here for school. Went to CNU, which is in Newport News, Christopher Newport. Played football there for 4 years. That's how I got into the 7-5. But my first job out of college, I worked for the city. I worked for the Commissioner of Revenue in Newport News. So that's
what is the Commissioner of Revenue? Not to cut you off.
Kind of like the treasurer. The Commissioner of Revenue is looking at business licenses, personal property tax, commercial real estate tax, you know, all of that. I'm doing graphic design, trying to make this tax code look sexy, right? That's like how
Did you
I
succeed?
got into. I mean, it was dope, bro. I worked there like a year and a half. She's super dope. Shout out to Tiffany Boyle, you know what I mean? But that's how I got kind of like cool with the city or whatever you could say, or like experience doing that. I think I started being serious about music probably around 2019, 2018, coming out of college. And similar to you, looking for something to do. I was like, I'm trying to get on some shows, da-da-da-da. I was in a group. So we just started doing our own shows. You know what I mean? We just started figuring it out. We started doing our own shows. I met a few people. I'm really good at knowing that somebody does something. So if it's something that I need, I can just connect it, right? It's like, I don't have to do it. This person is good at that thing, you know.
You don't have to do every single thing.
Yeah, bro. I try.
Some people can't get past their ego. They want to do every single thing. But
Yeah. But I feel like I'm about to ramble. So can you remind me the question again? 'Cause you're talking about working
just
with
your
the city
experience
and then-
working with the city. How maybe just put it in perspective for us. What's a good way to approach them? Do they respect the arts?
Two, I think while I'm working with the city, you know, coming out of school, I start to understand how things are working. I do think that we have power in our voice if we go to the city. I think that there's a process of, you know, just on a citizen level of if you have a vested interest about something or you have an issue with something, you can literally go to the city council. If you can bring more people with you, it is more effective because it's more people. You know what I'm saying? So I do think that if we want to get something changed, that can happen. As far as working with the city, I don't know, bro. I think it's really relationships. Like, I think that's how I got into it. And then I think it's also understanding the business side of it, and understanding that, yeah, you're an artist, yeah, you're a platform, but you have to, you know, be able to do the business side of it. They often put out requests for proposals. We talked about this a little bit on the last pod, but they're looking for people to do stuff. So I think if you can find relationships to get in, that's really, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. What about you, Cam? So you started Social Supply. Maybe just tell us a bit about starting that. We've had a few DJs on the pod like recently. I feel like 2024 has been the year of the DJ. Maybe just touch on your journey with Social Supply. Any challenges you guys faced?
Yeah, so we started in 2021, coming in like right at the outskirts of the pandemic. Essentially, we were kicking it and having house parties and just at my boy John's house, who's a co-owner as well. And we would just have a really tight-knit crew of people that just wanted to just be around each other and just have our social energy up and just remain positive because everybody was locked in all the time. You know what I mean? It had none of that. So once we started doing, people were just like, man, why don't y'all just try this outside? Because I used to do programming and I used to do curation with my company called Headhunters at the time. And we took a hiatus because of the pandemic. So once we saw like the type of people that were coming in and hanging out and all this stuff, we're like, yo, like we could really do this, dude. Like, let's just go out there and shoot our shot. So one of the biggest challenges was first finding the right venue. Everybody, of course, didn't want to be on top of each other during that time frame. So it's like, all right, can we get a cool spot that's outdoors?
What do you mean they wanted to be on top of each other? No did.
Yeah, brother. So during that time frame, we found Ocean House. They just built a deck upstairs, and it was maybe like 2 or 3 months in. You know what I mean? That they had that, and we were like, dude, this is a gym. Like, it's right off the water. We can see the water. You have a good hangout session. So We got Javi Lopez.
Loplex.
Loplex to go. Loplex to go. Man, he set us up with an amazing setup in the front. And basically, like, you could hear the music down the block. So anytime you were walking past the front of the restaurant, you saw all of our branding and all that kind of stuff. And then that first event, I think we had like over 300 people show up. And we were just like, oh, shit.
Was this also filmed for YouTube, or this was before you were doing that?
Way before, yeah. So
Okay.
this is, so with the YouTube, we popped that off at the beginning of January.
This year?
Yeah, this year. Yeah, so we built up our audience and our core fan base through those in-person events before we started doing live recordings here. And it was just a way for everybody to get out, and they kept thanking us. They were like, dude, like, we appreciate you doing this and, you know, giving us something to go to. It was more like an event more than just a party, because people are out there socially networking and, you know, just getting human interaction again. So it was a great thing to see. But for the YouTube, we popped that off, like I said, in January. That snowballed very quickly. I'm not going to front. I don't think any of us were truly prepared for how quickly that was going to roll.
How quickly it went up on YouTube.
Yeah. So the algorithm blessed us with however that shit works. You know
I think it was
what I'm
perfect
saying?
timing, bro, because like this year, these DJ sets from across the world have been going up. It's
Yeah.
like perfect timing, I feel like.
It is. And I mean, we got inspired by our apartment life for sure. So we always give them shout outs and credits to that, you know. We wanted to showcase the talents here across the world now, you know what I mean? And show that there is a musician structure here that's been here for a long time with these DJs. It's just like nobody's giving them the shine and an opportunity. So the best way we found that we could do is recreating what we were doing during the pandemic before we started the crew, which was to have a kickback at the crib. And that's really what it was. And that's why we started calling it the living room. So the best part about it is that, you know, a lot of these talents are now getting discovered outside of the area. They're getting offers from other cities and other major DJs. You never know who's watching that kind of stuff. So, you know, other major DJs are asking to work with some of our talent here. So it's great to see the scene get the love that it does from across, because they're like, dude, like, Norfolk's popping like this, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, VB's popping like this. We got people coming down from Richmond just wanting to come down to an event just to hang out. So it's just truly a blessing to be able to put a highlight on that. You know,
Yeah, that must be a great feeling, bro. Because that's one of our goals, to create a platform to where we can really be a catapult for artists to go take their talents further. So I know that's a great feeling, being a big contributor in a lot of our DJs. They'll do a social supply set and then they'll start getting gigs, like you said, out of the area. Yeah. Even Durag Daff is like, even though Durag Daff has been a popping DJ out here for like 10 years, he was on tour with Drum. He was like, even he wasn't really getting many gigs till this year, till he did his social supply set. So I know that's a great feeling.
Yeah.
Maybe we can also touch on, you mentioned kind of earlier, a lot of us mentioned we started our stuff after high school, after college. Maybe if there's young people watching this, I don't know how people look at it these days, but I know when I was coming up, it was like, if you don't figure out what you're doing, like by the end of high school, like it's over for you. So maybe just touch on creating, creating as you get older, becoming an adult, and finding ways to keep creating and keep chasing your dreams. I don't know, whoever wants to take that.
I mean, I can. That's fine. To be honest with you, it's just really having a vision for yourself and who you are and who you want to be. You have to create that, though, in my opinion. We always think about society's ways of, you know, I've got to fit this certain standard by a certain age. I got to get married. I got to have kids. I got to do this. I got to do that by a certain age. It's like, nah, dude, like everybody's path is their own path. And sometimes you have to do the work to carve it out. I always say, let go, let God, but, you know, I still got to put in that work. Right. And to me, once you get around the right set of people who appreciate that and draw that out of you more and more to give you that confidence, I think that's what most creatives need. Right now, I feel like a lot of creatives, they get in this stifled mode of feeling like they've got to, how do I put it politely? They feel like they have to do something that's outside of themselves and not true to their core. And it's like you get put in certain positions. It's like, okay, I can take this opportunity, but is it really feeding and nurturing who I want to be? And sometimes that can put you in an awkward state. So just sticking to your guns, you know, and knowing what your plan is and following them through, and consistency. Yeah, for sure. Consistency.
Anybody else have any thoughts on that?
I feel like if you're young, especially if you're young, I think you should try different things because you might not know your path or have a complete vision for yourself. You know, your brother might want you to do this, or your mom, whatever. You really might not know. And I think if you're young, you know, like kids now, I feel like the examples that they have, you know what I mean? could not be the best. So I feel like try different things. I feel like I've done a lot of different things. Like I work in corporate America essentially, you know what I mean, and have for quite some time. And at the same time, I'm like with my people, you know what I mean? Like that's, and everywhere I go, I do that. But at the same time, I think it took me a while to figure out exactly what it is that like I liked, you know what I mean? Like, or that I would be willing to wake up for and, you know, for real and get up and go, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe kids look at it different these days. I'm thinking now, like when I was coming up, okay, you can maybe be a rapper, you can be like, to make movies or something. Like everything seemed like it was this stuff that was out of reach, but now it's like you have TikTok, you have social media, you can literally go up for doing, you can make a business out of doing anything you're passionate about. So maybe the kids don't even see it that way anymore. I don't know. Any thoughts on that?
I mean, I don't feel like I'm that far removed from feeling like I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Bring that mic a little closer to you if you don't mind. Yeah.
Hello. This is better. Yeah. But as far as that, I think Kelo hit it spot on. You have to try multiple things. Like, I know that when I was going to college, I felt pressured to do something. So I ended up majoring in something that I knew I had a talent. And I'm like, okay, communications, that's easy. But I do think, I mean, I've tried multiple things. I was an entrepreneur for a while. I was on the business side. And you just have to figure out what it is that you want. That's just what it is. Like, and I do think it's important to follow your passions. A lot of people put emphasis on like, okay, well, you want a career that pays and you want to make sure that you're going to be stable and all of these things. And I think that makes people afraid to pursue things that they deem to be, oh, I'm not going to make money from this, which is
it's a risk.
Yeah, and it is a risk, but it's like you get one life and then what? You're going to say that you worked for 50 years for corporate Walmart and because you wanted to do that, and you know, it's just like I personally really believe in doing things that fulfills you, like your passion, like, and if you need to try to be Bob the Builder and try to be Oprah and whatever the case may be in order to figure out what that is for yourself, then I think it's worth the time. I really do. So to any kids who may be listening to this, it's really no rush. Like, I cannot express how much it is no rush. I'm not saying you should drag your feet, but don't feel like, oh, because I have a younger brother, he's just turned 23 and he feels old. He's like, I have to do this, I have to do that. I'm like, you're 23. And he's been saying this since he was 20. And I'm like, you have so much time to figure stuff out. Again, not saying you should drag your feet, but take time to learn yourself, learn who you are, and learn what it is you want to spend your time on. It is worth the risk, in my opinion.
I guess I would also just add, like, just don't be afraid to try, and like your passions can evolve.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a lot of us, like bro, his major focus was music. He made music. His passions evolved. He wanted to start Whosnext757. So like, give yourself the room to grow and evolve. Did you want to add anything to that?
I would love to add, but what actually stood out was time. You know what I mean? I think I think time is everything, but it seems like, do we really have that much time to kind of? Because I personally feel, as far as any kid nowadays, because I think it was different for us. I think it was different for us coming up without super social media like that, like they have now. But I think now for kids now, I think you should start young. You know what I mean? I definitely think you should start young and try to figure out what you know, because everything is in their face and they're already kind of doing things, but they just got to figure out, you know what I mean? And it's about good role models nowadays on the kids. You know what I mean? Because everything is right here. You know what I mean? So that's my thing. Start now. As far as us coming up and things like that, like, I mean, after high school, you know what I mean, it's all about either go to college or do what?
Go to work.
Go work.
Going to the shipyard, brickyard, DNC.
But you can, like, you know what I mean? I think they need to understand, like, they can get a trade. I think trades are I mean,
they're important. I mean, I'm an electrician. Yeah. That's
but
my.
But it's like 80,000 void jobs in Hampton Roads, like
void
trade jobs. Yeah,
how many?
Y'all know what I'm saying.
Like that need employees or
How many?
80,000.
80,000?
Yeah, 80,000.
That's nuts.
Well, they took out trade schools out of America. Like,
I mean, but you can go to trade school, bro.
You can, but high school used to be trade. Like, I think, and maybe in still some parts of the country, like, but in Boise, I know it's still like that to this day. Like, when you leave middle school and go to high school, you don't just go to a generic high school. You pick your trade that you go to high school for. So when you graduate high school, you have some type of skill. You're not just, and I feel like a lot of schooling in America is like that. Like, you're just wasting time. You're going to these, even when you go to college, you go to college for 4 years to learn these basic stuff just to start learning your field.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of wasted time.
If you go to college, you should very much maximize your connections while you're there. I think
It's
that's
about
what,
development
that's
in
what,
college. I do.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
I think that's what I think college did for me. I was also a comm major, business admin minor.
Communication and media arts. Yep.
Yeah, so I was like, bro, I'm trying to extort this school right now. Like while I'm here, you know what I'm saying? What can I get? You know what I'm saying? Outside of whatever it is that, you know,
Okay.
of course I got to go to class.
I will
but
stand
like,
on that forever. Though.
yeah, like I can call my homie now when I'm in Lorton or you know what I'm saying, I'm in Florida or whatever. Like, what's up, bro? You know what I mean? My
Those
teammates
relationships
are-
were key.
Yeah,
Yes.
bro.
In college.
And they doing dope shit. You know, outside of music, media, entertainment. You know, they might be a dentist. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay, maybe we can pivot a little bit. So, just about the scene in the 757. One, do we have a scene? I feel like a lot of people still don't see it. Does it exist? And how do we, because we all want to reach the world, we want to reach the whole country, but how do we market our stuff to the hundreds of thousands of people that live in this area? Because that could be a great core fan base for us. It's a big market. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I got some thoughts on that. What I think, you know, moving into 2025, I'm about to just, you know, throw it out there. You know, I'm thinking about really maximizing in marketing and pretty much kind of like guerrilla marketing.
What do you mean by that?
You're gonna see it everywhere.
Okay.
You're gonna see it everywhere. Like that's the way you gotta take it. And right now, like, you know, we reached a certain number on IG. I haven't really put it kind of out there like that, but we were 7,500, and right now I'm looking at it like, you know, I kind of want to see that 10K there on Who's Next.
Followers, 7,500 followers.
Yes, and I want to see that 10K on Who's Next 757 and things like that. So as I'm closing out the year, I'm analyzing. I'm trying to figure it out. This question, yes, it's about taking it and to the extreme and really trying to get to the masses. It's about boosting posts, putting things on sponsors, you know, promoting things. And I see what you're doing as far as getting that specs of viral content and things like that. So it's yeah. So I really think about guerrilla marketing right now, really trying to take it out to the next level as far as the full scene of the city, try to take it other states and things like that, put it, you know, posters up and things like that. So
We definitely have a scene. Like, there's no question. There's no question that we have a scene. And if it wasn't evident 5 years ago, maybe, it's definitely evident now. Like, it's everywhere. And no pressure on Social Supply, but y'all play a big role in that. In my opinion, I feel like Social Supply has done a really great job of showcasing all of the different things. And I'm not just talking even just music, just from down to having events like you guys just did at the Mocha. Like, you're putting different parts of Virginia on the map through a platform that people are already watching and looking for. You know what I mean? So yeah, I love Social Supply down. Like, when I found out about it, I love that for us. But I think things like that make it more appealing to people outside of Virginia too, just because not to say it's just the packaging, but I mean, yeah, Social Supply is kind of like a nice packaging.
And it's just
you know
incorporating stuff that people really want to do. They want to go
Yeah.
outside. They want to drink. They want to go hang with friends. They want to go have
And
a
they
good
want to
time.
dance. They
wanna
want to
dance.
go to DJ sets. Like, that's really the vibe. Like, it is. And but yeah, like I said, it kind of just amplifies to me the creative scene in Virginia. Like, it's no doubt that it's there. And I think that we, as media personalities, creatives, whatever you guys want to call us, like, we play a big role in also trying to amplify that, or also making it known that, like, you know, we're doing our thing in Virginia. Specifically the 757, like, we're really doing our thing. Like, I think our platforms make a difference in showcasing that. So yeah, it's no question. We definitely have a platform.
Yeah, I definitely believe we have a scene here. When I was younger, in my early 20s, there was like 3 different crews that were doing stuff at the same time, and it was a lot of cutthroat competition between them, even though they were all
What were the
friends.
crews?
So it was like No Alarms was a big crew, We OK, and then it was Audio Ammo.
Are these DJ crews? Like what?
They were DJ crews back in the day. So, you know, there was a huge EDM scene when EDM music was popping off, and all that kind of DJs were everywhere. Audio Ammo is based out of Richmond. But back then, they would try to like compete with each other about who can get the biggest venue at the time, or who can get the newest venue. And then it was like, all right, well, cool, we're gonna try to bring this big name DJ. So it made everybody want to step their game up. It's like, oh shit, like this is getting really real with some of these artists that are coming here. So that's really what inspired me, because I was a part of 2 of those crews, or, you know, helping out in certain ways, learning the ropes and stuff. And once I saw there was a lack of that, you know, during 2020, 2021, we were like, all right, dude, we got to help build this or do something to contribute, or at least try to amplify. So I think really, though, with the scene is concerned, like, some people conflate the scene for 757 as just being Norfolk and Virginia Beach a lot of the time.
They leave out Newport News, and they leave out our side of the water. Where, you're from Hampton, right? Where are you from?
New York.
He's from New York.
No, from right now where you live.
I represent Norfolk and Virginia.
Okay, so I'm the only one on this side of the water. Okay, my fault.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, I would technically say I came in Newport News. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay,
I was
okay.
in Newport News 5 years.
But yeah, so majority of the stuff people you said conflated, they think it's just Norfolk, Virginia Beach.
Yeah, and then it's like they have their art scene out in Norfolk, which made them stand out for a very great reason. You know what I mean? A lot of the creatives, and that's why I always love going to Norfolk, because you get those arts kids, you get those people who think outside the box conceptually. So sometimes it's like you'll have good conversations, you know, when I'm sitting at Only You or something like that with somebody random, and I'm like, oh shit, like, dude's really creative. But you know, the beach has its own scene where it's like people just want to party, you know, and just get down and have a good time. So I think they take from each other, you know, especially with the arts are concerned. The arts district with the Vibe district was created because of the Neon district, you know. So there are ways that they're trying to help bolster the scene in certain aspects. But I just want to see more from other cities in the 757. Like, I hearing something Hampton more often, you know what I'm saying? Or any other city other than...
Bro, most people I have on the podcast were in Newport News. They're like, this is like the only time I'm coming to Newport News is
Yeah.
to do the off-road
Let's get
podcast.
a Hampton, Newport News living room.
Let's
You
do
don't
it.
got
No,
one
we
yet?
need
You
one.
don't got one yet?
Yeah.
I know. I already know. I think I know who should do it too.
We got
Well,
some
actually, it's
spots.
co-people. I think
plenty of spots.
she's already done one, but All Natural. She's done one, right?
Yeah,
She's from
yeah.
Hampton, I think.
Yeah.
Sween Dog will be a great person for that side of the water too. DJ Sween Dog. But it's
You
kind of
also
leading me
got-
into the. Go ahead.
Was it Blue Bizzle, Blue Band? I don't know if y'all know him, but it's like some legendary DJs. Rick G's. You talking
I
about
know Rick
Hampton,
G's on the
shit like
radio.
that.
I think.
And I think thinking about a scene, I feel like, you know, I guess to close the question is, I do think we have a scene in the 7.5, you know, and I think he was asking for Virginia. I think Virginia is very different. People, you know, categorize us as the DMV, but we all know the 7.5 is different. I include Richmond in kind of where we at, because Richmond got some dope shit going on. It's a little different because it ain't as much water. But, you know, thinking about the scene, there's a scene everywhere for the most part. You know what I mean? It's a scene in Birmingham. I just talked with the homie Lionel. He was like, "Yeah, I'm in Birmingham, da 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 da."
Birmingham
you know?
lit right now. It's going
But
crazy.
I don't think we have an industry in Virginia. You know what I mean? I think.
How would you differentiate that a scene versus an industry?
I think the ability to impact the world. You know, not ability to impact the world, but the systems, processes, resources, people, businesses that are already established in media, entertainment, arts on a national level. Right? It's not like a Apple or a Pioneer or, you know, Atlantic Records. It's none of that is currently here. We have people who have been successful, you know, that I think people often look towards to save us per se. But I think with the scene and the industry not being as much here, I think that's what my goal is to connect these things and to bring people here and to build an industry here so that people see the area differently. You know, I think we have like creative commerce, right? Is like what we're doing. We're businesses. We're creatives. I have Coffee Black. That's my arts and entertainment agency, right? I'm producing events. I'm doing shows, festivals, photo, video, all of that. That's my commerce, right? But I think when we think about creative economy, just like you pointed out, Norfolk and Virginia Beach have art districts, but the other side of the water does not. You know what I mean? I think that makes a big difference in what we even doing. You know what I mean? Because when the city puts money behind these different things, you know, like the city of Virginia Beach just put up like $13 million. So it's like grants
Atlantic Park.
and it's grants for creative businesses and community events. And the deadline for it is like January 31st. Y'all can all go apply. You know what I mean? Like it's a grant program, Virginia Beach Cultural Affairs. So it's like, yeah, we have a scene, bro, but like we don't have as many people, I think, like really trying to see this on a bigger picture. My bad. Because you got Atlantic Park. You got Atlantic Park coming. That's going to really help. And I think that's more industry. You see what I'm saying? Like,
do you think we're on the way there? to being that, like down the line, even in 10, 15 years?
I think that we are, and I think that now is like a very integral time. If it's gonna happen, it's gotta happen now type time. Because I feel like the momentum is there. You know, something in the water is there. You got, you know, all the stuff specific to the 7.5. That's really.
Are those grants that you mentioned, is that part of that bill that Jackie Glass is working on, or is that separate?
That's separate.
Okay.
I think Jackie Glass is trying to work on something for the state, but you know, every year, bro, like the city does analysis over the contracts that they get out. You know what I'm saying? It's called a disparity study. So out of the contracts that we gave out, what percentage did we give to these communities? You know what I mean? Does it match the population of the city? If not, then we have to increase, decrease, adjust, you know, create programs to make sure that small women, minority businesses are getting these grants. So the city wants to help us. Like, if you're in the city of Virginia Beach, you can go to, what's it called? The Hive. It's right in town center. You can go into the Hive. Hey, my name is da-da-da-da. This is my business. I'm trying to get some money from the city. And they're going to be like, okay, here's what you do. They'll sit down with you, walk you through it. You can do the same thing in any other city, bro. They have business centers that you can go to. They're literally trying to help. And I think if you really want to do something, you just come with enough time in advance, have a structured proposal, have a budget, have some people with you. I think collaboration is very important, like what we've been able to do throughout the year with High Street Festival. Then we do Virginia Mocha, you know what I'm saying? Commune, you know what I mean? Like
Commune was crazy that night.
Then we at, you know, where was we at, bro? With Sexy Red.
Wayfest.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm still waiting on Sexy Red to hit me
High
back.
91
was
was that
patient.
Juneteenth Festival.
Yeah.
You know, everybody everywhere. So I think it's just collaboration is the thing that we need to create an industry here. You know what I'm saying? We got some shit. Like we don't have a lack of talent in Virginia. I don't think it's anywhere more talented than us. But it ain't like, you know, Jermaine Dupri is around the corner about to be like, yo, who that dude that was at the show? Like, we don't have that. You know what I mean? So I think platforms like yours, the pod, you know, the radio, things that get the word out. I think if we can combine that shit, bro.
That leads me into my next question too. So we're talking about the scene, working with the city, building our brands, maybe facing challenges. I kind of want to, I don't know if you want to call it expose, but this crabs in the bucket mentality that everybody swears it's around here, but I just don't see it. And I don't think it's just specific to this area. I think that's everywhere. Like the way I kind of explain that is I look at it like famine. If everybody in your neighborhood is starving, there's no food to eat, you have to focus on you and your family to feed you guys before you can think about your neighbor. So that's kind of I would say the phase we're all stuck in right now. We're all trying to make our things happen and focus on our stuff. We're just starving. So it's hard to think about everybody else. And like I said, I wouldn't say that's just a Virginia thing or a 757 thing. Maybe touch on just the perspective you guys have, like how you approach or like what are the best practices for collaborating with others to ensure everyone wins or like everyone's happy.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot better over the time, to be honest with you here. There's been a lot more collaborations between a lot more of these, you know, entities going on than there has been in the past. I think the best thing is just what fits and feeds your branding. So that way, you know what I mean? Everything that you're doing is for its right reasons and it's with the right people. But also, I think there's a lack in understanding sometimes that we need organizers more so than we need creatives. Because everybody can be a creative in their own way. But being able to situate and navigate and be able to put people in the right positions and, you know, make things run smooth, there aren't enough of those, unfortunately. Right. So the biggest thing is why we keep running into each other, like me and Kelo, and we're always collaborating, is because we know that that's a sorely needed thing here. Like that needs to be shown that there is unity here, and that we're trying to break that generational curse of it being that way. Because I felt like it was like that because of the music industry for sure. You know, when you had the Neptunes and Timberland and all those guys still here, like everybody wanted to be the first one to pop off and then be that person to, you know, carry the whole state on their back. And it's like, nah, dude, you don't have to carry that much weight. It's cool. Like, work together, get studio sessions together, do writing sessions together. You know what I mean? And that's when, because I was a music producer first.
Oh, I didn't even know that, bro. I was cooking the beats up. Okay.
Yeah. So, so I had some touches and goes with the major labels and stuff like that. You know, I was mentored by Chad Hugo for about a year and a half.
What'd you learn from your time with Chad Hugo?
Thinking outside the box for sure. Conception-wise, oh my gosh, man. Like, he'll get on the keyboard and he's just like a virtuoso, man. He'll play some of the simplest things, but it's got such a good swing. and rhythm to it, and it's just like, God, you made that look so fucking easy, But the thing is like, when I was 15, I got the bug because I went to the original Hovercraft studio, and this is before the Clips came out with the Re-Up Gang. We got it for cheap. That's how long ago that was.
Whose studio was that? I never heard of that. The Hovercraft studio?
Hovercraft
That's a fire
Studios.
name, first of all.
Yeah, that's the Neptune studio.
Oh, wow, okay.
So where they recorded a lot of Justin Timberlake's album and a bunch of other stuff like that was the original studio. So yeah, I got the bug when I went there and I recorded in the studio session B. And once I just kept at it, with the beats, and came across Chad through a mutual friend, and I played him some of my stuff. I actually jammed out with him at like 3 o'clock in the morning because they called me at like 12. Like, yo, come out of the studio. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I got work at 8. I was like, I'm not missing this opportunity.
You can't say no.
Fuck no. So I hopped my ass on the car, got down to the spot. We're jamming out till 3:40 in the morning. Like, he's playing bass. He's like, come back the next day. Come on, come back. I was like, okay. Next day, Show Me Patuari comes in from Elusive Media. Shout out to Show Me. Comes in with Stally from Maybach Music. He was signed at the time. And
Damn, I forgot about, bro. I haven't heard his name in forever.
yeah. So he came in, and that's when he was trying to work with Chad, but Chad was just not in a good space, mentally at the time. So he was just like, hey, man, you're going to make the beat. And I sat there and was like, wait, what? The fuck? All right, so we get in there, and the Triton keyboards that have all the classic Neptune sounds that you could think of is right there at my fingertips, and I felt like a kid in a candy store. I was like, oh my God, now I get to actually touch the keyboards of my idols, and, so it was one of those, like, revolutionary moments for me, and then I made the beat right then and there. Probably took, like, 30 minutes to make the beat.
Was this beat used for anything?
Yeah, well, yeah, so it was his lead single for his project. I forgot the name of the project. It was, like, one of his mixtapes before his first album, though.
Wait, I'm sorry. Whose project?
Stally.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So then I linked up with No Malice after that because he had came in. That's when he just turned to No Malice. So finding a sound for him was kind of crazy. So it was one of those. Yeah, it was one of those deals. Like, are you a Christian? You're going in this Christian lane. Like, how does this music supposed to sound? Are you still going to be hitting hard or not? So yeah, I made a beat for him. That was his lead single, one of his lead singles off his album. So yeah, it's just. The industry here for music was a big driving force, and I feel like now that's starting to shift. It's not just music here anymore. It's more now arts, it's fashion, it's a conglomerate of things working together in unity. And like we had a commune that night, showed it all. You know what I mean? Like we had that fashion show, we had live music, entertainment, all like that shit.
Beauty fashion.
Yeah, so I think that, to be honest with you, it needs some work. I think it does need work, but it's working itself out because the right people are still continuing to work with each other across city lines. We'll be going to Portsmouth or we'll go to Norfolk, and it's the same creatives, if you think about it. So it's making a little bit things easier.
I agree. Definitely need more organizers. Like, there's a lot of other roles to fill in a creative scene other than just being the artist or the podcast or whatever it is. Any thoughts on how you approach collaborating with people? Yeah, stuff like that.
Oh, okay. So I thought we was on the, like the crabs in the bucket.
That's
thing.
yeah.
Well, I did want to touch on that more. So I don't think there's a crab in the bucket mentality here. It's probably definitely getting better because of collaborations and how much platforms and a bunch of things that's going on in the area and things like that. Personally, big on finding your rooms. You know what I mean? Finding your rooms you need to be in. You know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of things that's going on, and you gotta expand. You gotta expand your brain. You gotta get out there. You gotta touch the people, and you gotta work. It's no excuse. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's a crab in the bucket. It's just probably the people someone may be around or things like that. So you gotta find your rooms. That's what I think.
I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say collaboration is really important, and when it comes to people, I know it's important to obviously have to take care of yourself first in order to show up as your best self and be able to help other people. That is important, but I do think collaboration is everything. I think that in order for each of us to grow, each of our platforms to grow, each of our brands to grow, you do need other people. So in whatever way that looks like, whether it is through organizers or linking with other creatives, creating new events together, I really think that's when I started seeing differences. When I started like actually opening myself up to doing things for other people, for lack of better words. And not to say that I'm selfish, because I'm definitely not. But just before that, I kind of felt like, especially I can use the example of radio because that's what I'm most familiar with. Being in that studio, you know, okay, you go to work, you do your job, you talk on the mic or whatever, blah, 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 and then you go home. But if you're not involved in the community, if you're not extending your services to help someone, doing things even like down to being willing to talk on a panel on a Sunday, like stuff like that, it really makes all the difference. I didn't start really gaining traction, I use that very loosely, but stuff like that until I started doing things with other people. Like, it's really hard to grow and expand on your own. It's going to take other people. So I think we're doing a good thing by, well, at least from my perspective, from what I've seen, I think we're doing a good job at starting collaborating and in this area. Like, I think we're doing good at that. I haven't seen it because I just got into the scene. I haven't really seen it before then, or like in the past, I would say 10 years, as saturated as it is now. Like, the amount of collaborations that I'm seeing now. So
I always say for me, it's about just building our online presence. That's how we can reach further out from this area. Like, we have, you know, Whosnext757, Soul Supply. These are things that bring people together in real life. But now it's like, I'm always like, we need to package it correctly to show the world. So I think our platforms is what's going to do that. And it's also like, that's like, we need platforms that blow up, that are known to break new artists. Because if you're just like an artist, if you're a rapper, yeah, you can blow up, but fans, like, in their subconscious, they're not coming to you expecting to discover other artists. They're coming to you for your music. So now we need platforms, like, if we're talking about like On the Radar, I think they're in New York. If you follow them, you know that you're gonna discover new artists that you never heard of, and if you like that artist, they're gonna be in your playlist now. Yeah, maybe just, I guess we could touch on just, I think we touched on it a bit earlier, but just marketing, how we can market this stuff. You're on the radio, we're doing stuff on the internet, we got people doing live events. I think at the Wavefest pod we did, Batman mentioned, like, maybe we should go back to street marketing. I know bro was talking about guerrilla marketing earlier. Like, did you mean doing stuff in real life, street marketing? Like, let's touch on just different ways to market this stuff.
Well, yeah, definitely all of the above. Like I said pretty much earlier, I touched on just ways that I'm kind of more so looking to take Whosnext757 to the next level in 2025. And that is, you know, definitely guerrilla marketing. You know what I'm saying? Taking it to the streets. You know, getting posters, getting merch. You know what I'm saying? Have you on the merch now. Crazy. Appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? These are definitely these are definitely out. You know what I mean? I have a few select pieces. I got a bunch of ideas on what I'm about to do with it, different colors and things like that. But, you know, as I broke it and released it, I was like, you know what? I need a little better marketing behind it. You know, so I do have an idea on, you know what I mean, catching things on camera visually, handing it off, and, you know what I mean, just gifting it to some artist or somebody in the scene, you know what I'm saying, that I've been collaborating with, you know what I mean, just showing love and things like that. So I'm 2025, I'm looking to definitely take things to like a new level, more promotional sponsor posts, you know what I mean, just heavy on that, just so keeping things in more so rotation, and definitely just hitting the streets, a little more street team and things like that.
Bro, I've been thinking about that too, like how to promote the pod in real life. Like, is it posters? Is it signs? Going to the mall? Getting people to go to the mall? Like, yo, check out this podcast. It's based out of the area, or I don't know.
Do it live.
Do it live? What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
what do you mean? No, what do you mean?
Do what? Do the podcast
Like,
live?
do it somewhere?
Live event. Like a live event.
Like this?
Look, yeah.
A tour.
But like with an audience. That would be really cool.
Bro, I sent you the, I sent it to you, bro. I already sent it.
What'd you send to me?
I already sent it to you.
I gotta look. I don't know what
Nothing beats at the end of the day, because the internet is great. Don't get me wrong. It's a great tool to reach people who aren't here. If you promote something, it's bound to hit somebody. You know, it's you're bound to hit somebody. But nothing beats, in my opinion, face to face. Like having these events or word of mouth, just going, like you said, taking it to the streets, like nothing beats that in my opinion. So, which is why I emphasize the importance of being involved, like physically involved, not just posting is important, yes, of course. Reposting for other people, I think, is also important because, again, it's going to be a different audience seeing it, which is what it's all about. But nothing beats getting out there and being physically present, and I will stand on that hill.
That's even like with a brand, right? I've been blessed to be able to work with a lot of different brands because I think that I've been able to translate to them that having their brand associated with a good experience is great in a consumer's view. I think that's very important. So I think as long as you can try to curate an experience, it's important because there's a personal exchange. Your podcast, right? What I did send you was the Earn Your Leisure. I talk about them all the time, bro. I think they are the best example of a podcast. I don't listen to a bunch of podcasts anyways. I love Dave Chappelle's podcast, but they both did what I'm saying is a live podcast. You don't got to do it every time, that will probably be decently expensive. But if you did one like quarterly, you know what I mean? You did a live podcast in collaboration with something else that could, Hot 91's, podcast month. I don't know. You know what I mean? But I think a live event just gives you a different experience, with a consumer. And if you can keep people in a feeling of like, wow, that's something that I haven't experienced before or I want to experience again, I think that's like where your growth.
No, I agree 100%. Taking care of the crowd and the energy that's brought into these live events has always been critical for Social Supply. Word of mouth has always been the best advertising for us. That's always been like, yo, I'm about to go hit this. They'd be like, have you heard of Social Supply? Like, I've heard people say that, you know what I mean? And not know who I am, which is a great thing, because I'll be sitting there like, yeah, what you know about that? Yeah. So
they're telling you about it, like, yo, you going to the Social Supply shit?
Yeah. And I'm just like, I'll see you there.
Yeah, I'll be there.
I'll see you there.
Often,
You know what I mean? But just like, for example, like we brought up earlier, like the mocha. Transforming that space that usually is held for like weddings and stuff like that to make it a living room and having the art market in there. We had great numbers that pulled out. I believe we had like 460 people, you said?
Yeah, 460
people came throughout the evening.
Like
we made an impact for the museum by their membership goal, we hit 20 memberships.
Yeah, we had 21 members sign up at the event.
Yeah, so just making those little impacts that way, I feel like is going to make branding even stronger because once the mocha and all those other people, we use that as a resume move. If there's anything else that we could tap into, like another art center or something like that, now we have a reference point. We have data collected. We've shown our impact. And I think that's what a lot of businesses are looking for, especially in collaborating. It's just like, what is the return on investment, And I think that once you really learn and study the game, you can start curating the audience for that in a way. So that way you're always constantly and having leverage for your branding. Okay. So, yeah, I think it's a great thing that we have the community that we do have here, though, because it's not hard to find the right people. You just got to know where to look. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, if you go out to one of these events socially and you network and you introduce yourself to people, you're going to find somebody there that's going to be similar-minded more than likely, at that event. So doing more of that is going to get us out there more.
Look, this has been awesome. Does anybody have any final thoughts? We have a few people out behind the scenes. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. At this point, any final thoughts?
We having a holiday party. What's it called? New Year's Eve party at Assembly on December the 31st.
At Assembly? I was thinking about what I'm doing for New Year's.
Man, we might need a pod there. Live pod. It'd be crazy.
We can talk about that.
That's it. More information coming. That's all I want to say. Thank you for having us.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was gonna say. This is dope. This, had a great time, great conversations. Love it.
Any final thoughts, Alana?
Yes, I love this. Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me. And I think these kind of conversations between people like ourselves, I use that very loosely, by the way, but just in general, these conversations I think are important to start the changes or to just make people aware of the fact that, this is happening. There is a scene and we are building it and we're making something. So
there is a scene. There's people that care about it
yes,
and that are
there are like,
dedicating their time and energy towards making it better.
This is the room that we're talking about.
The reason we're all here, shout out to Cam and Bertrand. Huh? Do we have a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to know, y'all ages.
Okay, so she's asking our ages.
I'm 27.
Feds. No.
What's your social security number? I'm a 29.
I'm 27.
30.
I'm 35.
Yeah.
That was a very personal question, man. And he
Yeah.
felt old.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Do you feel old at 23?
That's
Good,
bad.
because you're not nowhere near.
Bro, I still feel 16.
Low
Somebody,
key?
bro, I
I don't know about
saw a
16,
quote.
bro.
That's a whole nother pod. But
I saw a quote. Somebody
What
was
is
like,
age?
you always feel 18. It was like one day you turn 80 and you look in the mirror and you feel 18, but you see an 80-year-old looking back at you.
Y'all, I be
It's
thinking
like,
about that. Can I just say this real quick? I really think about that. I don't like how people infantilize older people because I'm like, I know they just feel like I am my 20-year-old self trapped in this 80-year-old body. Like, I know people's minds are still right now. I think about that so often.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But, girl. You're not old. Like, you can't even say, like, old and 30 is just no.
My girl know I'm childish. I'm gonna try to remain childish.
I think that all of y'all are doing a great job, bro. What you're doing. Just want to big up everybody in this room, for real. Like,
No doubt.
Bring it in,
everybody's
guys.
dope, bro.
Bro, he's trying to be nice.
Y'all better
Like,
bring it.
Nah, bro. I believe
You're
in.
like, shout out to you
I
guys.
believe in
I got
divine,
my last stuff.
divine interaction, for real. Yeah, yo, we all here for a reason, and I feel like, yeah, this
Hell
is a
yeah,
good. This
hell
is a
yeah.
good room, bro. Like, it's some
Yeah.
good shit. Like, and yeah, bro. Off-road is amazing, bro. So like, keep
Thank you.
keep
Thank
your
you,
shit
bro.
moving.
Yeah.
Everybody's dope. I'm honored to be here with y'all, bro.
I need that Whosnext757.
Let's get it.
We
bro.
got to get Kelo rapping
Let's
again.
get it.
Hashtag make Kelo rap.
Make Kelo
Yo,
rap.
Kelo, no, bro. Kelo is actually one of my favorite rappers from the city. Like,
Really?
you, bro.
Kelo is
I gotta hear more of
fire.
your stuff, Kelo.
He
Yeah.
does a lot of things. Like, I feel like we don't really see you talking about music
I know,
often.
At all.
I got
But
a
he's
lot of,
a very
I got a
great
lot
rapper.
of music. I'm just like, I need to drop, brother.
Final thoughts, Cam?
Appreciate you first and foremost and everybody involved, especially with your podcast concern. You're capturing so much great talent from this area,
Yeah.
and it's going to be a time capsule eventually when these people start blowing up even bigger and bigger, and seeing you be a part of everyone's journey is going to be amazing to see. So I just want to say thank you for first of all.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
No.
On time capsules, while we talking about time capsules, there may be a real time capsule. I'm getting Kelo to help me with what's it called, the presentation deck.
Yeah.
We had an idea to do a time capsule at Atlantic Park that like a bunch of creatives just can put stuff in, and then like we'll open it in like 20 years. So I had a meeting with Alec and Robbie, which are the people to talk to about that. They told me to make a presentation deck, get it to them. So fingers crossed, we'll see if that happens.
That would be so dope.
Y'all
I
know
think
what
it will.
Atlantic Park is? Everybody know what Atlantic Park is?
Atlantic
knows?
Park is
It's
like
surf park.
it's a surf park, a huge venue, restaurants. It's this whole, what would you even call it?
Compound.
Compound in
it's
Virginia Beach.
The
That's-
first
yeah.
ever in America. You know what I'm saying? Like the first in this style was like a symmetrical wave pool. It's like hundreds of yards. I don't even know, but it's like wave simulators. Then they have residential apartments. They have commercial business spaces. They bringing in some major brands. And then there's like a public-private access, you know, right in the middle of Virginia Beach, connecting the vibe to the beach, to the water, to the sand. Like
The crazy part to me about Atlantic Park
concert
is
venue.
concert venue where a lot of industry acts will come. So that'll bring a lot of industry acts to the area. But the crazy part about Atlantic Park to me is everybody knows Pharrell as the face of it. But like I said, I had a meeting with Alec and Robbie, and Alec talked me through where Atlantic Park stemmed from, which was this dude Alex. It was his college thesis 10 years ago. He
Wow.
created the idea and the design for Atlantic Park. He did the blueprints for it.
Wow.
Fast forward 10 years later, he links up with the city to make it a reality. Pharrell was interested. They like FaceTime Pharrell from the meeting, and Pharrell being like interested is what made the city kind of want to do it. And then also that stemmed to Pharrell creating something in the water, because he didn't really want to do something in the city because he felt like it wasn't going anywhere. But then he heard about the idea for Atlantic Park and was like, you know what, let me make my contribution to the city too. But that just goes to show like how your ideas can evolve and
crazy.
become bigger than you.
And
And
it's
nobody even knows Alec now.
Yeah.
As that.
Crazy.
Pharrell
And
is the face of it.
He
Like,
went to Virginia Tech, but it was like his senior dissertation. The literal plot of land that he used is the exact same
Wow.
plot of land. It's different. It's designed different now, but it's the exact same. And so, you know, the developer is looking for somebody who can make a wave park. And here's this kid at Virginia Tech who
I think he was
just
actually a
made it as
surfer too, right?
project.
Yeah, he was a
senior
surfer.
project type.
That's fire.
Yeah, so you never know where your ideas could lead to. They can become bigger than you. Big shout out to Cameron Bertrand, VIP, Angel Tree. We're here as a fundraiser. This will be on YouTube. We're gonna have the link up here. So even when because people can always donate to this. Like it doesn't just end. So we'll have a link right here. You can donate to the fundraiser. We're gonna have Cam on as well. Just talk a bit about it. Giving money back to families that need it. Yeah, we're also doing a painting auction. We'll put that up somehow too, but we have 3 paintings up for auction, one from D. Kane, one from Mercedes, one from Karina Elise. Grab a painting, that's going towards, proceeds going towards the fundraiser as well. Yeah, am I missing anything?
New Year's Eve, you wanted some plans?
New Year's Eve at Assembly.
Well, if you're not, all right. Well,
Is that what we said?
We got the annex as well this month.
Oh, so 2 things going on.
Yeah, there's 2 things going on.
And
So,
the R&B block party.
yeah,
And the
Yeah,
R&B
and
block
R&B.
party.
So
7-5.
speaking of collaborations,
Got a lot going
on.
this one's gonna be with us, Traptastic, Gabe Baila, and then Only You. So all 4 of us are combining to do
I think we actually have I think Rod from Traptastic is our last episode of the year.
Nice.
On the 29th, I want to say.
Good guy right there. Definitely.
Sheesh.
Good man
Shout out to
right
Rod. That's another guy that's figured out a way to keep creating.
there. Oh yeah,
over the
definitely.
years.
I
Rod
mean,
legend.
That boy just turned
Yeah.
40, I think. I was like,
Rod
wait, hold
legend.
up.
Yeah, he's
I'd
stupid.
Look, thank you guys for tuning in. If you're watching
Yeah,
this, we
all
appreciate
that.
you
I
for
know
tuning in.
everybody. Sheesh,
Donate
brother.
to the fundraiser.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
I
See y'all soon.
might have
Thank
these.
you, Samir.
Come on. Thank you.